The T-Rex burst into the herbivorous dinosaurs' gathering place. Everyone thought he was there for a massacre, but he had actually come to rescue them. This was a T-Rex raised by a loving dragon mother, although other dinosaurs didn't accept him. Dragon Mother treated Hart as her own. Fudan Mountain was about to be destroyed. The forest had become an inferno. Hart worried about his mother and brother's safety. Risking the wrath of all T-Rexes, he had to enter the plains again. Hart ran while calling out for Dragon Mother. Childhood memories came flooding back, perhaps due to the maternal bond. Dragon Mother seemed to hear Hart's voice. She walked out of her nest to see Hart. Out of breath, across from her, the long-separated mother and son embraced tightly. After a brief reunion, Hart urged his mother to leave with him. When they finally made it out of the forest, the ground was already covered with a thick layer of volcanic ash. But before they could catch their breath, Bart suddenly appeared. He had been waiting there for a long time. Hart had violated his orders by entering the plains again. He had spared Hart once before. This time there would be no mercy. A battle was inevitable. The power difference between them was vast. But for the safety of Dragon Mother and the others, Hart couldn't back down. Against Bart's fierce attacks, his previous hard training proved useful. In the beginning of the fight, Hart surprisingly held his own. However, as time passed, the gap between them became apparent. Hart's proud fighting techniques proved futile against absolute power. Under Bart's guidance, Hart began to abandon external techniques, and instead used his most primal strength to fight. Each collision left both sides scarred, but neither showed any intention of stopping. After another charge up, using his body's quick rotation, Hart finally found Bart's weakness, but experience prevailed. In the end, Bart used a body slam, knocking Hart unconscious on the spot. Then Dragon Mother, disregarding her own safety, crawled over, sheltering Hart tightly beneath her. Mother begged Bart not to kill Hart. Faced with such a touching scene, even the cold-blooded T-Rex was moved. He decided to spare them once again. The injured Bart collapsed on the ground, remarking how strong Hart had become. Attentive viewers must have already noticed. Bart was Hart's biological father. Actually, from their first meeting, Bart had recognized Hart as his child, but he chose not to reveal their relationship. As the ruler of these plains, Bart wasn't just a father. He was also the guardian of these plains. He carried many responsibilities. These responsibilities prevented him from being a good father, so he chose to let Hart grow up independently. But when he felt it necessary, he still stepped forward at the right time, teaching what it means to protect those you love as a man. As king of the plains, expelling Hart was his duty, but it was also his only legitimate reason to see his son. In his fight with Hart, he avoided all fatal areas. After Hart showed his great strength, Bart felt very proud. When Hart bit his neck, he just gently hugged Hart, choosing to fall together into a crater. Even though he had to fight his own flesh and blood, even though both were injured, Bart wanted to teach his son to grow this way. His love for Hart was deep and heavy. Hart ultimately chose to separate from Dragon Mother and the others, to continue their separate lives. Perhaps they would never have the chance to meet again, but even separated by thousands of miles, their love would always keep them tightly connected.